Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip, and today I'm excited for GhostFace. Before we get into the video, I want to let everyone know the pros and cons to this character, because everyone's probably going to be wondering what is good about this character and what's bad about this character. I'm going to keep it straightforward with you guys. I know it's the first day, but there's a few things in particular that I already noticed about this character. And like I said, I lab a lot and I understand the game and I understand the character itself. So just keep that in mind. What I'm going to say is that I'm glad that this character is not insanely good, just for the simple reason that he's DLC. I think all the characters that are Mortal Kombat should be better than DLC, period. DLC should just be good or entertaining, just for the simple reason that they're in the game. They should not be destroying the meta. They should not be above the actual Mortal Kombat characters. Even lore-wise, that doesn't even like make sense. Like, what the hell? These niggas come to this universe and they're just fucking Mortal Kombat players up, or you know, whatever. Anyway, let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros and cons to this character. The pros is that this character has insanely good mix. You can also jail a lot of your moves. You can also go for a whole bunch of different mixes, and you can use your cameos to make yourself safe. You also have a restand. You also have 3 different variants, and you also have a few moves extra for each variant that allow you to go for a certain mix. A lot of the strings are safe. A lot of these strings allow you to go for shimmies, into auto shimmies, and also allows you to go into mental stacks and layers as well. These are very, very strong. You also will be taught how to play off of neutral, and you'll be able to press buttons off of whiffing and reacting to whiffing. Now let's talk about the cons. A lot of your strings are very slow. You have a lot of highs. You also have no way to really guarantee your turn when you're playing against someone who is mashing. You're going to be consistently trying to condition your opponent to respect you before actually going for mix. And I'm okay with that, just because he's a DLC character. Again, I want to play GhostFace. I'm probably going to main him. Everyone knows who, anybody who knows who I am understands that I play low tier characters, or I just enjoy characters who have a hard time with certain matchups that other people are abusing. It's fun to me. It keeps the game alive for me. I know I will lose a lot of matches, but I enjoy it. So if you enjoy losing, but you also love learning and also being creative with your playstyle and having fun, I recommend playing GhostFace. GhostFace is probably the newest character in the game, but also, when I say probably, he's probably one of the few characters in this game that has a solid mix and also a solid restand where you have to actually guess. So with that being said, let's get right into this video. Okay, so GhostFace, this is going to be an advanced guide. This is not a beginner guide. I'm going to be talking super fast, and I'm going to be talking as if you guys already tried this character. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also, I will not be talking about cameos. We will be probably showcasing cameo gameplay, but I will not be talking about cameo in a character breakdown. If you guys want, I would be making a cameo breakdown of how to utilize it. But anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, so in this variation, you're going to be using the command grab a lot. The command grab is really good. Once you start enforcing command grab, you can start going for mix and so on and so forth. And what I mean by that is that when you are in your original form, you can start doing certain layers in particular that are unsafe. Yes, I said unsafe, but you can still go for layers. This is really strong. The run is really strong because if they do get hit, you can cancel this into, you have enough time to actually cancel this into the actual square, and then you can combo from it. If they don't get hit, you can do things like this, cancel this into the command grab, and you can combo into your cameo and so on and so forth. You also can do, once you are running and your opponent is looking to duck you because they want the optimal punish, you can start running and then you can cancel into a low. You can also amplify this if they do press in time for whatever reason, and you can actually do this and then make yourself safe and then go for mixes off of that. Just keep that in mind. Also, in this variant, you also have certain things in particular that are really cool. I think this is really cool right here because you can do certain cameo streams into this, and you can also make yourself safe as well. So if your opponent wants to mash, they'll most likely get hit. And like I said, they are -5. So when they're not ready for it, you can hit them for it. And the reason why they're respecting this is because they're looking for you to do this. It throws the screen off slightly just in time where they won't dash forward and try to press a button. They can do that, but you know, you can also cancel this as well. So again, keep that in mind. Another thing that's really cool about this character in particular is that a lot of his strings create layers and they create mind games and they also create auto shimmies. Auto shimmy is kind of similar to what it looks like when it looks like a grab, but in reality is an actual string. This right here is his grab, but this also can look like his grab as well, as you can see, right? Because he's reaching his hand out. It's very similar. So this is going to auto shimmy your opponent, play a cameo that's going to complement you, because a lot of people will get hit by this string. This string is also very good because it spaces you out, and it's also -7. Even though it's -7, you can think of it like -6 or -5, just for the simple reason that it has pushback. This string also allows you to go for a restand. Restand is really strong because from restand, I want to show you guys, you are +15. Since you are +15, you can go for certain strings in particular that are lower than 15, and then once you start conditioning your opponent and respecting them, you can start going for overhead, you can start going for low, you can start going for certain strings in particular that does not necessarily gel. This is just your opponent is trying so hard to react to the mix that you can start stealing your turn in particular. This is very strong, so utilize it as much as possible. Again, when I say this is strong, it's strong for his game plan, but you also have to remember this character is very hard to play, just for the simple reason that a lot of his strings are high and a lot of his strings are slow, so a lot of people will be mashing on you. So you have to learn how to space your opponent out, and you will also need to learn how to utilize certain mind games off of your moves in particular to keep your turn as well. Okay, this string also is -5. This is a really good string. It's really good to use just for the simple reason that it's -5, and since it's -5, it gives the opponent an illusion that he can press a button, and if he doesn't press a button, he's most likely going to down one. You can down one back and take your turn. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that his pokes are ass. Do not use his down one. His down one has the worst range in the entire world. This is terrible, in my opinion. You have to be super close. See this from this range? This is insane. I'm gonna keep that same distance. I want to see if I can get poked by him. Okay, same thing with this character. Okay, all right, I'll stop complaining. But anyway, I think his down one is still pretty bad. There's a few characters in particular that he just struggles with when he tries to poke and take his turn back. His down 3 is really good. His down 4 is okay, but I would use his down 3 only for the simple reason that it is let me see real quick before I say it. Yeah, it's less negative than his down 4. Down 4 is -30, and this right here is -23. I recommend using that more. You can create mind games off that as well. There's a lot of things that you can do with this character to create mind games, but I recommend learning how to utilize some of his strings. He also has a tick throw off his down 1. I'm not sure about his down 3. Let's see. Okay, he has one off his down 3. Okay, so just off his down 3. Okay, so his down 3 and down 1, he gets a tick throw. Another thing that's cool about this character is that you can use back 2 to kind of extend your combos if your opponent does jump. This is also really good. So sorry, I apologize. So you can do things like this. Just if they're trying to mash, see that? If they try to mash out of your string, you can do things like that. And then I was getting real excited. We can talk about the character in a second. So again, if you go for the restand and you're trying to create a mind game and your opponent tries to jump, you can just do back 2. They'll get hit by it and you can get a combo off of it. You can also special cancel this string, so you can do things like this. And you can keep comboing from there. You also have a throw if you amplify this. So this move right here that is a mid, it becomes a throw, and you can combo from it as well. If they do get hit off of this string in particular, you can combo this. And then, you know, you can call Movado, you can go for a mix. I said I wasn't going to show you guys, but look where we are now. And then you can create mind games and everything like that. Movado is probably going to be the easiest for all those who are wondering what cameo you should use. Mortal Kombat players love easiness, and I recommend using Movado just for the simple reason that it is very, very easy. You get combos off of everything. Boom. You get combos off this. Boom. Hold on. This. You can also get combos off of this. And it's just easy. It's super easy. If you lack the neutral, or you like something that's really easy and you want to have fun with the character, I recommend playing it. There's nothing wrong with playing an easy bake oven character cameo. There's literally nothing wrong with it. Just have fun with the game at the end of the day. Also, another thing that's really cool about this character is when you're using your run, you can amplify all your moves. So like this move right here, you can amplify like after you run. This move in particular, this right here, you can use this, and then you can EX this. But also what's really cool is that once you're on the ground, you can do the low amplify, and you'll be able to get a combo. You can call Movado, you can do anything, you can call the other killer, they'll come and allow you to go for extended combo, and so on and so forth. This is also very strong as well. I think that's about it as far as in this character. Like, you have this string as well. This string is really good for mind games and layers because it has 3 stabs, so you can kind of throw your opponent off, and then you can go for a shimmy, and then you can go for your combos. You can also use it just to end your combos in. Also very good for that reason as well. I just think this is really cool. This string in particular, please be careful. You should only be using the string to extend your combos because the last hit is a high. If you want to make it safe, just go for the triple stand 2. Triple stand 2 is really good. I believe it's also -5. Sorry, it's a lot of buttons to remember. Oh, it's -7. Okay, so another thing too to keep in mind about this character is that he has a lot of strings that are -7. And once you realize that he has a lot of strings that are -7, you can essentially take your turn back, but you also want to be careful with completing the full string just to keep your turn, because again, like I said, he has slow buttons. So since he has slow buttons, when you finally have your turn, learn how to keep it, learn how to play it off of the simple fact that you have spacing and so on and so forth. That's really, really strong. Anytime that you do a special move, you can also cancel into another variant of himself, which is going to be Enforcer and also Assassin. These two variants are a little different, and they also have different special moves, and they have a few different moves in particular that is different or completely different than their original Ghostface. There's so much to talk about. It's insane. This character has a lot of moves, guys. Please be careful. Okay, so let's move on to the second. Let's move on to the next one. Again, I'm trying to talk pretty fast. This one, you have a Rekka. Rekka comes from the Street Fighter term, but anyway, Rekka, you have a few hit moves, so you can end it quickly, or after this, you can end in the 3 hits. So it's going to be this move, and then you hold up a square, and then 4 square, 4 square. This is going to be really good for creating a mind game. It's also safe, and it's -7, but keep in mind that when something is -7, you cannot press, but you can also do it sometimes if your opponent doesn't take their turn back. In particular, you can kind of do this to create mind games, layers, and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. Also, in this variant, you also have a different string. This is going to be your different string. This string is also very good because it creates, a mind game. I like the string because this is the string right here, but you also can go for the overhead that can throw off your opponent sometimes. So just keep that in mind. So you can do things like this. And you do get Oki off of this string in particular. This one right here is -51. So please, you don't learn how to use it. You also can amplify it. And you can go for some cool combos. This is probably going to be my favorite variant just because he has so many cool things in particular. He also has a shoulder charge in his variation. So he has a shoulder charge. He also has the overhead kick. Then he also has his Rekka move. Also keep in mind that this string in particular is invincible. So if this character wanted to do something like this, you can go through this. No problem. Hold on. Why is it not coming up? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So yeah, see how you can go through this? So now you can do things like this if you have the meter. Which is really cool. Now you're going for mix. And you can create mind games off of that. You also have shoulder, but shoulder doesn't have armor in it. So just keep in mind when you use that string. Another thing that's really cool about this string, about this character in that variation is that, sorry, let me take this off. What's also really cool about in this variant that is my favorite is that you create a lot of mind games off a certain string. So like this string, remember we were talking about, you can do things like this now, and it's becoming very strong because if they don't get hit, you don't have to special cancel it. Or you can special cancel it and you still be safe, rather than the other variant where sometimes when he does the overhead, he becomes negative. So just keep that in mind. If you do use this one, it's more safe and you get cooler combos, in my opinion. And you still get Oki, and you know you can create mind games off of that as well. When you do, another thing to keep in mind though is if you go for a grab, you can never go into a like the assassin from here, which I think is kind of lame. But you can go into it. Let me see something. Ink. Yeah, all these strings gonna make you go, like if you use the enforcer, you can't go to enforcer and assassin. You can't go to assassin to enforcer. You have to go back to the original one first, and then you can go from assassin from there or enforcer from there. So keep that in mind. If you guys have figured out that you can do it, let me know in the comments below, but I don't think you can. Another thing that's pretty cool about this variation is that in the corner you get a little more cooler combos as well. They become a little different what they look like full screen. Remember we were talking about the phone call. Phone call doesn't work in the corner, but you can do things in particular that allow you to combo. So I'm going to show you this just because I want you guys to understand. So you can do things like this now. This is going to allow you to go for a combo extension. That's really good for you. Okay. Another thing to understand about this variation is that you can throw your opponent off with shoulder charge into block and stuff like that. And you can amplify it to get a little more Oki and create mind games. Another thing that I forgot to mention that's also very helpful is that a lot of strings that you do, since your overhead is kind of slow, that if you time it correctly, if they try to wake up buttons, you can always get overhead to work. Just because it is 20 frames and it's slow, you can use this kind of to meaty. You can also use this to catch opponents that are delay wake up in, and you can do certain times in particular to get that Oki into the overhead. Please learn it. It's very important because a lot of your strings are slow. So let's talk about assassin. I know I'm moving fast, like I said. But let's talk about assassin. Assassin is really cool because you have a restand in this variation. You also have a Kano ball in this variation, and then you also have moves that you can throw, and you also have an airborne as well. You can use this because it's really strong. You can use this to create mind games and so on and so forth. When you use this move, you can amplify it after you throw it, and you can cancel it by holding square, and then you can keep comboing. You can do this as many times as you want. As you see. So just keep that in mind. You can do that as well. You can also cancel this and you don't have to combo into it. So you have another way to OS, especially with this, the overhead. But in this variation, since overhead is completely different, you have that. So you can do things like that. So now you can do, hold on. I'm gonna do this. Hold on. And then you can combo from there and so on and so forth. I'm trying to do some cool stuff. But they don't take a lot of execution, but it's a lot of stuff to remember. And you know, you can do whatever you want to do. Those are going to be your combos and everything like that. Another thing that I have noticed about this character that he does not get a lot of damage, but there is certain ways in particular that you can get a lot of damage with Kano in particular. That's all I'm going to say. You can get 50%, you can get 40%, and so on and so forth. These are very, very strong to learn, especially with this character. You're going to want to learn your optimal route combos. So again, you have this that allows you to throw stuff in your opponent's face. Sometimes it can throw your opponent off in certain areas where some strings have gaps. It can throw your opponent off. You also step back and you use this to kind of call in a cameo. That's going to help you. You can also use this string. That string is really good. See, and you can, you know, do whatever you want with that variation as well. And then, like I said, you can throw these in a neutral, and since your opponent's going to be ducking, you can cancel this and then go into a mid or into a low, and then, you know, create your mind games from there. I like this variation as well. This one is a little more trickier. This one is really more for controlling space, but it also allows you to extend combos and go for certain mind games as well if they do get hit. You can also use this in the neutral to kind of whiff punish your opponent. You can also use this full screen kind of to like get in on your opponent if they are zoning. So if you wanted to use like sector or something, you can use that in particular to get in on your opponent. You can also use sector, and then you can kind of like just throw these in the air because, you know, your opponent would try to anti-air. You can use this to like bait them to think they can anti-air you and then they get hit. And you can do a follow-up with a certain cameo in particular that allows you to get a combo. This variation is a little, again, like I said, is a little more trickier. It is more free. And what I mean by free, you can start canceling and create mind games that kind of throws your opponent off. You're going to be whiff punishing with this button. This button is really good to whiff punish. I recommend you learning that to whiff punish with. This is also going to be good to whiff punish, but also catch people mashing. A lot of people, again, is going to be mashing against you. This is also a really good string just to check your opponent and seeing if he's like mashing or ducking. You can use this to kind of like throw him off. I think this is a really strong string as well. I think that's really about it when it comes to this character. There's a lot more that you can like learn with this character in particular, but these are going to be the basic things that you're going to want to understand about this character that allows you to do things in particular against your opponent in Combat League. There's again, like I said, there's a lot more that you can do with the cameos as far as in command grab into Scorpion. I know there's a lot of things that you can do, but these are going to be the most basic things that you need to understand about this character. He is a set play character, and set play characters are very difficult to understand, but they're also very hard to execute. They're easy to execute in practice, but as far as in online, you would get a lot of input errors just because of so many different things that they can do, especially GhostFace. Since he has 3 variants, he's going to be a very fun character for people to learn, but also a character that you will never get bored because you're consistently always learning, and you're always going to be trying to figure out new things in particular. Anyway, guys, this is your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip. This is all I have for you right now. And like I did with Cyrax, I'll keep updating you guys and breaking down the character even further. Anyways, if you can, I would appreciate a like or a dislike, or leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think about GhostFace as well. Anyways, I'm out. Appreciate you guys.